Hi everybody, hope you are doing fine. I am Amir. Welcome to the Brain Book channel. Today I want to talk about cerebellum. As you may know, the brain has three main parts including cerebrum, cerebellum and brainstem. And here you can see the cerebellum with a different part, the brainstem and cerebrum. The cerebellum is a fist-sized portion of the brain located at the back of the head. It is below the temporal lobe, which is located here, and the occipital lobe, which is located here, and above the brain stem. Here is the brain stem. And during the development and embryonic development, it is generated from the rhombic lips during the embryonic development. The cerebellum is approximately forms 10% of the brain's volume. But you should know that it is so dense and contains over 50% of the total number of the neurons in the brain. It is considered as a motor structure because cerebellar damage result in impairments in motor control and posture. And motor commands are not initiated in the cerebellum. Rather, the cerebellum modifies the motor commands of the descending pathway to make movements more adaptive and accurate. As you can see here, the cerebellum has two different hemispheres that are visible from this side and this side. And look like the cerebral cortex. It has a left hemisphere and right hemisphere. The outer part contains neurons, and the inner area of the cerebellum communicates with the cerebral cortex. Its function is to coordinate the voluntary muscle movement and to maintain our physical posture and balance and equilibrium. New studies are exploring the cerebellum's role in thought, emotions, and social behaviors, as well as its possible involvement in addiction, autism, and schizophrenia. There are some new papers which are published in the journals that indicates that cerebellum play a key role in the emotion, social behavior, and also in addiction and some other disorders, including autism or schizophrenia. The cerebellum is made up of two hemispheres, as we said, that they are connected by vermis. And a thin layer of gray matter, which is called cerebellar cortex, lies outside, as you can see here, outside the core of the white matter. Here in the core we have white matter, and in the outside we have the gray matter. The cerebellum communicates with other parts of the central nervous system through the cerebral peduncles that come here and connect to the cerebellum. Cerebellum has different parts. It's very important to say that if we say the tree of the life because these branches look like a tree, and we say the tree of the life because it is vital for our life, and it's very important. Here you can see the position of the cerebellum. Here we have medulla oblongata, the midbrain, pons, and here we have the fourth ventricle, which is connected to the third ventricle here via cerebral aqueduct. And also here we have a choroid plexus of fourth ventricle, which lies here. In addition, we have the anterior lobe of the cerebellum and the posterior lobe of the cerebellum, and also a part here, folliculonodular lobe here. There are several nuclei in the cerebellum. There are 4 different nuclei. The deep nuclei of the cerebellum are clusters of gray matter lying within the white matter at the core of the cerebellum, and each of them communicate with different parts of the brain and cerebellar cortex. These parts are dentate nuclei, interposed, which are 2 pairs of nuclei, and fastigial nuclei. As you can see here, this is a diagram for the cerebellum. As you can see here, we have a lateral hemisphere, the right hemisphere, and the left hemisphere. Here we have a vermis, a connection between the right and the left hemisphere at the center. And here we have an intermediate hemisphere and the lateral hemisphere. And also for the nuclei, you can see the dentate nuclei, which is located the outer layer for the nuclei. And after that, we have interposed nuclei, which are 2 pairs of nuclei, and the fastigial nuclei here. The cerebellum totally controls the voluntary movement, including walking, our posture, our body balance, coordination, eye movement, and speech. And if it was injured with maybe infection or by external injury, trauma, or stroke, maybe these aspects of our life will be affected. For example, we will face with problem for our walking, or maybe we could be imbalanced, or our eye movement would not work perfectly, and we could not perfectly control our eye movements. Yes, thank you for your attention. If you think this video was helpful, please recommend it to your friend and subscribe my channel for my next video. See you later. Bye.